Title, To the Point. Elizabeth Townsend adjusted her glasses and scanned the draft before her, penned by a young associate fresh from university. It was, in essence, an enthusiastic attempt, though fraught with predictable phrases and meandering explanations. We study how customers respond to advertising and promotions, one line read. Another followed, proclaiming their interest in how customers respond to marketing communications and campaigns. She marked the lines with a red pen, her strokes neat yet decisive. A faint smile hovered on her lips. Young associates, all keen on verbosity yet rather hesitant to truly communicate. No matter. She turned to her notes, jotting down something that could lend the phrasing a hint of sophistication. A knock came at her door, and her colleague Martin Vale strode in, his presence as clipped and polished as his words. Martin was known for his brevity, a rare breed in a field dense with rhetoric. He possessed an uncanny talent for extracting the heart of a matter without wasting syllables, which she, a senior strategist, deeply appreciated. "Elizabeth," he greeted her, nodding towards her revised lines. "Does this work for you?" She handed him the document, her edits underlined in crimson ink. "This phrasing," she began with an approving nod, "sounds more sophisticated and encompasses a broader scope of activities." He studied it briefly, a thin smile of satisfaction lighting his face. "Concise and to the point," he observed, returning the paper to her. Elizabeth had always admired Martin's way of cutting through the superfluous with such deftness. "In our discussions, you always get straight to the point," she mused aloud, her voice betraying a hint of amusement. "It's a quality far rarer than it ought to be." "Perhaps I do," he conceded, leaning back with a shrug. "The word which in that sentence, by the way," he added, his tone light but exacting, "refers to the entire preceding clause." It was these moments she relished most. His precision was a quiet art, each phrase calculated, pared down, until it conveyed nothing but its essence. She had noticed the deliberate choice of verbs in his speech, the way he wielded words like tools. "Actually," he remarked, as if reading her mind, "in that phrase, he always gets straight to the point. Gets operates as a transitive verb of sorts, though it lacks a direct object in the strictest sense." Elizabeth raised an eyebrow, intrigued. Martin continued, his voice a smooth thread of insight. "Instead, it implies a result or state. To the point acts as a prepositional phrase, where the communication is directed rather than describing the communication itself." It was in moments like these that she was reminded of why she valued Martin as a colleague and a friend. For all the verbal sparring, there was a kind of poetry to his economy of language, a beauty in each measured phrase. Their discussions were like a well-choreographed dance, each move anticipated, yet retaining an element of surprise. As he rose to leave, Martin turned back with a nod. "In any case, your adjustments here were, shall I say, to the point." And with that, he exited her office, leaving behind the scent of cedar and a freshly inked page, marked by a dialogue that needed no further elaboration.